August 7, 1942, Bloody Ridge, Guadalcanal. Sergeant Major Takeshi Yamada crouched behind his Type 92 heavy machine gun, carefully adjusting the rear sight as his crew prepared the first 30-round feed strip for what he expected to be another massacre of American Marines. The veteran gunner had perfected his craft through 3 years of campaigns in China, where the Type 92's precision engineering and devastating 7.7mm rounds had shredded enemy positions with surgical accuracy. "Look at their crude weapons," Yamada said to his assistant gunner, Corporal Hiroshi Nakamura, observing American forces advancing through the jungle below. "The Marines carry simple, mass-produced machine guns like factory workers' tools. Our Type 92 represents perfection in engineering, hand-fitted components, precision-machined parts, individual craftsmanship that American assembly lines could never achieve." What Sergeant Major Yamada didn't know, what none of the Japanese machine gun crews positioning their weapons along Henderson Field's perimeter could have imagined, was that those crude American weapons would systematically outshoot, outrange, and overwhelm the Type 92 through sustained firepower that Japanese precision engineering couldn't match, when reliability mattered more than craftsmanship. The mathematical reality of American machine gun production was already being calculated in manufacturing statistics that defied Japanese comprehension. The Browning M1919 .30 caliber machine gun was rolling off American production lines at rates of 200 units weekly by August 1942, with General Motors, Rock Island Arsenal, and Buffalo Arms Corporation operating around the clock to produce weapons faster than Japan could manufacture ammunition. What Yamada couldn't comprehend, what none of the Japanese officers briefing their crews on American inferior weapons understood, was that those assembly line machine guns represented systematic application of American industrial capacity that would bury Japanese precision under an avalanche of reliable firepower. Before we continue with this incredible story of how American industrial might overwhelm Japanese craftsmanship on Pacific battlefields, I want to invite you to join our growing community of military history enthusiasts. Please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Your support helps us bring these incredible stories of innovation and industrial warfare to light. If you're fascinated by how technology and production capacity can determine the outcome of battles, give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who appreciates the engineering marvels that shaped World War II. Trust me, what you're about to discover about these two machine guns will completely change how you understand the Pacific War. Now, let's dive into this remarkable clash of philosophies. Japanese confidence in their machine gun superiority wasn't misplaced arrogance. It was earned through systematic technical excellence that had dominated Asian battlefields for 5 years. The Type 92 heavy machine gun represented the pinnacle of Japanese small arms engineering, incorporating design innovations that American weapons manufacturers had never attempted, and achieving accuracy standards that exceeded every machine gun in Allied service. The technical specifications told a story of systematic Japanese advancement in automatic weapons technology. The Type 92 fired the powerful 7.7mm cartridge at 450 rounds per minute with precision that allowed effective fire to 2,000 meters, range and accuracy capabilities that made it technically superior to the American M1919's 30E06 cartridge and 1,500-meter effective range. More importantly, Japanese machine gun doctrine emphasized sustained accurate fire over volume, teaching gunners to place each burst precisely rather than saturating target areas with overwhelming firepower. This philosophy produced machine gun teams capable of achieving devastating effect with minimal ammunition expenditure while maintaining tactical flexibility through superior marksmanship. Captain Noboru Yamamoto, commanding the 124th Infantry Regiment's Heavy Weapons Company, exemplified Japanese machine gun philosophy in his tactical manual. The Type 92 achieves victory through precision rather than waste. Each burst must find its target through superior marksmanship and fire discipline. American machine guns encourage ammunition expenditure that reduces accuracy and reveals positions to enemy counterfire. The manufacturing quality supporting Japanese machine gun production reflected craftsmanship standards that American mass production techniques couldn't achieve. Each Type 92 required 180 hours of skilled machinist time using traditional methods that emphasized hand-fitting and individual attention to component precision that resulted in weapons capable of sustained operation under extreme conditions. The Kokura arsenal produced Type 92 machine guns using manufacturing philosophy that prioritized individual weapon perfection over quantity production. Each gun received individual testing, precision adjustment, and quality control that ensured optimal performance characteristics impossible to achieve through assembly line manufacturing methods that emphasize speed over craftsmanship. Warrant Officer Jiro Sato, Chief Inspector at Kokura Arsenal, had perfected quality control procedures that made Japanese machine guns legendary for reliability. Each Type 92 represents 200 individual components, manufactured to tolerances measured in hundredths of millimeters. American mass production cannot achieve such precision while maintaining the volume they require for global warfare. The combat record validated Japanese confidence through systematic success against Chinese forces equipped with various automatic weapons, including Soviet and American machine guns. The Type 92's superior range and accuracy had proven decisive in engagements where precision fire dominated volume fire. Through tactical application of superior engineering, the psychological advantages were equally important. Japanese machine gun crews possessed training and confidence built on consistent technical superiority over Allied automatic weapons throughout Asia-Pacific operations. They viewed American machine guns as inferior products of industrial systems that prioritized quantity over quality in ways that battlefield performance would expose. Private First Class Kenji Suzuki, assistant gunner for a Type 92 crew, exemplified Japanese confidence in technical superiority. American machine guns appear crude and hastily manufactured compared to our precision engineering. Their reliance on volume fire reveals lack of marksmanship training and mechanical precision. Quality defeats quantity when applied by superior gunners. The ammunition system supporting Type 92 operations reflected Japanese emphasis on precision over volume through 30-round feed strips that encouraged careful fire control rather than sustained automatic fire that wasted ammunition and revealed positions. This system produced machine gun teams that achieved maximum effect with minimal logistic support. The strategic employment of Japanese machine guns had achieved results that validated technical superiority over volume-based approaches favored by Allied forces. Defensive positions incorporating Type 92 machine guns had consistently held against numerically superior enemies through concentration of accurate fire that Allied forces couldn't match with their quantity-based tactics. Major General Kiyotake Kawaguchi, analyzing machine gun effectiveness during the Solomon Islands campaign, had documented Japanese technical advantages. Type 92 positions achieved tactical results that exceed American machine gun capabilities through superior range, accuracy, and ammunition efficiency. Their volume-based tactics cannot overcome our precision-based fire control. The individual training supporting Japanese machine gun excellence exceeded any automatic weapons program in Allied service. Machine gun crews completed 6 months of specialized instruction, including advanced marksmanship, mechanical maintenance, and tactical employment that produced gunners capable of extracting maximum effectiveness from superior equipment. The industrial organization supporting Type 92 production operated on principles that emphasized craftsmanship over mass production, creating weapons that reflected Japanese engineering philosophy focused on individual perfection rather than statistical adequacy that characterized American manufacturing methods designed for global conflict. By August 1942, Japanese machine gun crews possessed technical advantages and tactical confidence that seemed to guarantee continued success against Allied forces, equipped with inferior automatic weapons, produced through manufacturing methods that emphasize quantity over precision engineering that battlefield performance would validate. The stage was set for the most dramatic reversal in automatic weapons history, not through superior Japanese engineering, but through American demonstration that reliability, simplicity, and overwhelming volume could defeat precision craftsmanship when sustained firepower mattered more than individual weapon perfection. Japanese confidence in machine gun superiority wasn't theoretical engineering pride. It was mathematical proof written in blood across 5 years of Asian warfare, where the Type 92 heavy machine gun had established systematic dominance over every automatic weapon that dared oppose it, demonstrating technical excellence that had revolutionized infantry tactics and proven that precision engineering could triumph over crude quantity through superior craftsmanship. The statistical reality supported Japanese beliefs with overwhelming evidence of technical supremacy. Since 1937, Type 92 machine guns had achieved kill ratios averaging 15.1 against Chinese forces equipped with various Allied weapons, including Soviet DP-27 light machine guns and captured American equipment. More significantly, Japanese machine gun positions had consistently held against attacks by forces possessing 3.1 numerical advantages through superior firepower application. The secret lay in systematic cultivation of machine gun excellence that transformed automatic weapons from suppressive fire tools into precision instruments capable of engaging individual targets at ranges exceeding rifle capabilities. Japanese doctrine emphasized marksmanship over volume, teaching gunners to achieve maximum effect through minimal ammunition expenditure while maintaining tactical superiority. General Iwane Matsui, commanding Japanese forces during the Shanghai campaign, had documented the tactical revolution achieved through Type 92 employment. Machine gun positions equipped with Type 92 weapons achieve battlefield control that exceeds artillery effectiveness through precision fire that eliminates enemy leadership and destroys unit cohesion. American quantity-based tactics cannot overcome our technical and tactical superiority. The technical specifications demonstrated systematic Japanese advancement beyond Allied capabilities across every parameter that mattered in sustained combat. The Type 92 fired 7.7mm cartridges that delivered 3,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy compared to the American M1919's 2,800 foot-pounds, a 25% ballistic advantage that provided superior penetration and stopping power. More devastatingly effective was the Type 92's optical sighting system that enabled precision fire to 2,000 meters under optimal conditions. The telescopic sight, combined with precision machined barrel and receiver, allowed experienced gunners to engage individual targets at ranges where American machine guns could only deliver area fire with questionable effectiveness. Colonel Takeo Yamazaki, instructor at the infantry school, had codified machine gun doctrine that maximized Type 92 technical advantages. Precision fire achieves tactical results impossible through volume suppression. Each burst must be calculated to ensure target destruction while conserving ammunition and maintaining position security. American waste of ammunition reveals lack of technical proficiency and tactical understanding. The manufacturing excellence supporting Type 92 production represented the pinnacle of Japanese industrial capability applied to small arms engineering. Each weapon required 200 hours of skilled craftsmanship using traditional methods that ensured component precision impossible to achieve through mass production techniques that sacrifice quality for quantity. The Kokura arsenal employed master craftsmen who had perfected machine gun manufacturing through decade-long apprenticeships that produced weapons of individual excellence. Hand-fitting of critical components, precision adjustment of operating mechanisms, and individual testing ensured that each Type 92 exceeded specification requirements through craftsmanship that American factories couldn't replicate. Master Sergeant Ichiro Tanaka, senior armorer at Kokura Arsenal, exemplified Japanese manufacturing philosophy. Each Type 92 represents the culmination of traditional Japanese craftsmanship applied to modern warfare requirements. Every component is individually manufactured and fitted to achieve perfection impossible through American assembly line methods that prioritize speed over precision. The ammunition system reflected Japanese emphasis on precision over volume through 30-round feed strips that encouraged disciplined fire control, rather than sustained automatic fire that wasted resources and revealed positions to enemy counterfire. This system produced ammunition efficiency rates that exceeded American machine gun operations by 300%. The tactical innovations developed around Type 92 capabilities had created machine gun doctrine that Allied forces couldn't counter through conventional automatic weapons employment. Japanese gunners used precision fire to eliminate enemy leadership, destroy communication equipment, and create psychological pressure that volume fire could never achieve through random suppression. Lieutenant Saburo Ota, machine gun platoon leader with extensive combat experience, had documented tactical applications that proved Type 92 superiority. Precision machine gun fire achieves tactical control through selective target engagement that volume fire cannot match. American suppressive fire tactics reveal targets without achieving decisive results, allowing experienced gunners to eliminate enemy positions through calculated bursts. The optical equipment supporting Type 92 operations provided capabilities that American machine gun teams had never encountered in combat. Telescopic sights, range-finding equipment, and night vision aids enabled precision fire under conditions where Allied weapons could only deliver area suppression with minimal effectiveness. The crew training supporting Japanese machine gun excellence exceeded any automatic weapons program in Allied service, through systematic instruction that produced gunners capable of maximum technical performance. 6 months of specialized training included advanced marksmanship, mechanical maintenance, and tactical employment that developed expertise impossible to achieve through abbreviated American programs. The psychological advantages created by Type 92 technical superiority had demoralized Allied forces throughout Asia-Pacific operations. Chinese troops consistently avoided engagement with Japanese machine gun positions, while British and Dutch forces in Southeast Asia had proven equally vulnerable to precision automatic fire that their quantity-based tactics couldn't overcome. The industrial philosophy supporting Japanese machine gun production emphasized individual weapon perfection over statistical adequacy that characterized American manufacturing methods. Each Type 92 represented engineering excellence that reflected cultural commitment to craftsmanship over mass production efficiency that sacrificed quality for convenience. Dr. Kijiro Nambu, designer of Japanese automatic weapons, had explained manufacturing philosophy that produced superior results. Japanese engineering achieves perfection through individual attention to component precision and assembly quality. American mass production methods cannot replicate craftsmanship standards necessary for sustained automatic weapons performance under combat conditions. The maintenance procedures developed for Type 92 operations reflected mechanical sophistication that required skilled technicians rather than field-expedient repairs possible with cruder American weapons. This sophistication ensured continued operation under extreme conditions while providing performance characteristics that simple designs couldn't achieve. The strategic applications of Type 92 machine guns had achieved results that validated Japanese technical superiority over Allied automatic weapons through systematic demonstration of precision fire capabilities. Defensive positions incorporating Type 92 weapons consistently held against numerically superior forces through tactical advantages that quantity could not overcome. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, analyzing infantry effectiveness during planning for Pacific operations, had recognized machine gun superiority as decisive factor. Type 92 positions provide defensive capabilities that exceed Allied automatic weapons through technical advantages that their industrial methods cannot replicate. Precision engineering defeats quantity production when applied by superior personnel. By August 1942, Japanese machine gun doctrine represented the culmination of technical excellence applied to automatic weapons through 5 years of combat validation against Allied forces equipped with inferior equipment, produced through manufacturing methods that emphasized convenience over craftsmanship, that battlefield performance would prove decisive. What Japanese engineers couldn't anticipate was that American manufacturing capability would demonstrate that reliability and volume could overcome precision engineering when sustained firepower became more important than individual weapon excellence, beginning a systematic demonstration of industrial capacity that would render craftsmanship advantages obsolete through overwhelming mechanical superiority. August 21, 1942, Henderson Field, Guadalcanal, 0347 hours. Sergeant Major Takeshi Yamada pressed his eye to the Type 92's telescopic sight, watching American Marines advance through the pre-dawn darkness in what he expected to be another systematic demonstration of Japanese machine gun superiority. His crew had prepared 6 30-round feed strips with methodical precision, each burst calculated to maximize the Type 92's legendary accuracy advantages over crude American weapons. What Yamada encountered instead was something that challenged every assumption about American machine gun capabilities. The advancing Marines carried M1919 Browning machine guns that opened fire with sustained bursts that seemed to violate Japanese understanding of automatic weapons employment, continuous streams of 30-06 rounds that maintained effectiveness through volume rather than precision. "Impossible," Yamada whispered to Corporal Nakamura as American machine gun fire swept their position with devastating consistency. They maintained sustained automatic fire without regard for ammunition, conservation, or barrel heating. Such crude tactics should result in weapon failures and wasted ammunition. But the M1919's continued firing with mechanical reliability that Japanese doctrine deemed impossible for mass-produced weapons operating under sustained automatic fire conditions. Where Japanese training emphasized short, precise bursts to maintain weapon longevity, American gunners delivered 250-round belt after 250-round belt with devastating effectiveness. The first shock came when Yamada's Type 92 jammed after firing its third 30-round strip, a mechanical failure that required manual clearing procedures while American machine guns continued their systematic suppression. The precision-engineered feed mechanism that represented Japanese manufacturing excellence had malfunctioned under combat pressure that crude American weapons seemed to handle effortlessly. Staff Sergeant Robert Anderson, commanding an M1919 team from the 1st Marine Division, observed the engagement with professional satisfaction. "The Japanese guns stopped firing after maybe 90 rounds, while we've put out over 500 rounds continuous. Our M1919 just keeps going. That's what happens when you build weapons for war instead of engineering competitions." The psychological impact was immediate and devastating. Japanese machine gun crews who had dominated Asian battlefields through technical superiority were discovering that American weapons achieved battlefield effectiveness through different principles: reliability over precision, volume over accuracy, sustained fire over calculated bursts. The ammunition system that had seemed like Japanese advantage, 30-round strips encouraging fire discipline, became a critical disadvantage when facing enemies equipped with 250-round belts that enabled sustained suppressive fire. American gunners could maintain continuous fire while Japanese crews performed frequent reloading, procedures that created vulnerability windows. Technical Sergeant James Wilson, analyzing captured Japanese equipment, documented the systematic differences in design philosophy. "Their Type 92 is beautifully engineered like a Swiss watch, but it's too complex for sustained combat operations. Our M1919 is simpler, heavier, and uglier, but it fires all day without jamming. Sometimes crude engineering beats precision craftsmanship." The weight comparison revealed another critical factor that Japanese doctrine had overlooked. The Type 92 weighed 122 pounds in its complete configuration, requiring crew coordination and time for position changes that tactical situations didn't always permit. The M1919 weighed 45 pounds in its basic configuration, enabling tactical mobility that Japanese weapons couldn't match. More devastating still was the reliability factor that American manufacturing methods had achieved through simplified design and robust engineering. The M1919 incorporated fewer precision-fitted components, using manufacturing tolerances that enabled continued operation despite dirt, moisture, and sustained firing that disabled more sophisticated weapons. Lieutenant Colonel Louis Chesty Puller, commanding the 1st Battalion, 7th Marines, had observed the transformation in machine gun capabilities firsthand. The Japanese have superior individual weapons, but our M1919s outshoot them through sustained fire, rates they can't match. When their precision guns jam, our crude steel keeps firing. The production statistics supporting American machine gun operations represented another revolution that Japanese intelligence had failed to anticipate. While Japanese craftsmen at Kokura Arsenal completed 2 Type 92 machine guns weekly through precision manufacturing methods, American factories were producing 200 M1919s weekly through assembly line techniques. The industrial capacity gap was staggering and decisive. General Motors alone was manufacturing more M1919 machine guns monthly than Japan produced Type 92s annually, while maintaining quality standards adequate for sustained combat operations that precision engineering couldn't achieve under mass production constraints. The ammunition production, supporting M1919 operations, demonstrated American industrial advantages that made Japanese precision ammunition irrelevant through overwhelming volume. American plants produced 50 million rounds of .30-06 ammunition monthly, while Japanese facilities struggled to manufacture 10 million rounds of 7.7mm ammunition for all automatic weapons combined. Captain Noboru Yamamoto, analyzing early combat reports from Guadalcanal, struggled to comprehend American manufacturing capability. Enemy forces demonstrate ammunition expenditure rates that exceed our monthly production within single engagements. Their industrial capacity enables sustained automatic fire that makes precision marksmanship irrelevant through volume suppression. The crew training supporting M1919 operations reflected American systematic approach to automatic weapons employment that emphasized mechanical reliability over individual marksmanship excellence. American machine gunners received 120 hours of training focused on weapon maintenance, ammunition handling, and sustained fire techniques rather than precision engagement. Sergeant Anderson, training replacement machine gun crews at Camp Pendleton, had developed doctrine that maximized M1919 advantages. Forget about precision shooting. That's rifle work. Machine gun work is about putting steel on target and keeping it there. The M1919 lets you do that all day if you maintain the weapon properly. The cooling system innovations that American engineers had incorporated into M1919 design enabled sustained fire rates that Japanese air-cooled weapons couldn't achieve without barrel replacement. The water-cooled M1917 variant provided even greater sustained fire capability that made Japanese precision tactics obsolete through overwhelming suppression. The sight system that equipped American machine guns emphasized practical battlefield application over precision engineering. The simple iron sights enabled effective fire to 1,500 meters while remaining robust enough to maintain zero despite handling that would damage more sophisticated optical systems. The maintenance procedures required for M1919 operations could be performed by minimally trained personnel using field-expedient methods and basic tools. Japanese Type 92 maintenance required specialized knowledge and precision tools that field conditions rarely provided, creating operational limitations that battlefield requirements made critical. The tactical flexibility achieved through M1919 employment enabled American forces to use machine guns in roles that Japanese doctrine considered inappropriate for precision automatic weapons. Suppressive fire, area denial, and psychological pressure through sustained volume fire became standard tactics. Private First Class Thomas Rodriguez, assistant gunner for an M1919 team, articulated the philosophical difference. The Japanese treat their machine gun like some kind of sniper rifle. Careful shots, precise placement, conservation of ammunition. We treat ours like a fire hose, point it at the enemy and wash them away with lead. The transformation was beginning through systematic demonstration that battlefield effectiveness could be achieved through different engineering approaches. American industrial capacity applied to automatic weapons was proving that volume and reliability could overcome precision and craftsmanship when sustained firepower became the decisive factor. The crude American steel was outgunning Japanese precision through principles that violated traditional understanding of automatic weapons design, beginning a systematic revolution in machine gun warfare that would render craftsmanship advantages obsolete through overwhelming mechanical superiority powered by unlimited production capacity. November 1943. Tarawa Atoll. Sergeant Major Takeshi Yamada crouched in his reinforced bunker, watching through a periscope as American landing craft approached Red Beach, carrying what intelligence estimates suggested was the largest concentration of automatic weapons ever assembled for an amphibious assault. The veteran machine gunner had survived Guadalcanal and learned to respect American firepower, but nothing had prepared him for the systematic demonstration of industrial capacity about to unleash itself on Japanese defensive positions. The mathematics were overwhelming and unprecedented. The 2nd Marine Division was landing with 450 M1919 machine guns, 150 M1917 water-cooled weapons, and ammunition reserves totaling 12 million rounds, more automatic firepower than the entire Japanese garrison had seen during the previous year of preparation. Each Marine battalion carried more machine guns than most Japanese regiments possessed for all automatic weapons combined. "They come with machine guns like we brought rifles," Yamada reported to his commanding officer over the field telephone. "Every squad appears equipped with automatic weapons. The Americans have achieved industrial mobilization that makes resistance mathematically impossible through volume of fire alone." What Yamada was witnessing represented the culmination of American industrial mobilization applied to automatic weapons production on scales that defied Japanese comprehension. By November 1943, American factories were producing 2,400 M1919 machine guns monthly, while manufacturing 200 million rounds of .30 EZO-6 ammunition, production rates that exceeded total Japanese automatic weapons output for the entire war. The first waves of Marines established beachheads through coordinated machine gun fire that systematically suppressed Japanese defensive positions without regard for ammunition conservation that limited other armies. M1919 teams advanced using fire and movement tactics impossible with heavier weapons, maintaining continuous suppression while maneuvering into optimal firing positions. Lieutenant Colonel David Shoup, commanding the 2nd Marine Regiment, observed the tactical transformation with professional satisfaction. "Our M1919s provide firepower density that makes Japanese defensive tactics obsolete. They cannot maintain positions under sustained automatic fire from multiple directions. Industrial capacity has become battlefield capability." The ammunition consumption during the first day of fighting exceeded Japanese monthly allocation for all automatic weapons on Tarawa. American machine gun teams expended 2.1 million rounds in 18 hours of combat, while maintaining effectiveness that never degraded due to supply limitations, evidence of logistics capability that made resource conservation unnecessary. The reliability statistics emerging from sustained combat operations validated American manufacturing philosophy over Japanese precision engineering. M1919 machine guns maintained 96% operational effectiveness despite sustained firing, beach, sand and saltwater exposure that disabled more sophisticated weapons requiring precision maintenance under field conditions. Technical Sergeant William Morrison, armorer for the 2nd Battalion, documented weapon performance that challenged traditional understanding of automatic weapons reliability. "Our M1919s fire continuously through conditions that would destroy precision-engineered weapons. Sand, water, sustained heating, doesn't matter. They keep firing because they're built for war, not engineering competitions." The weight advantages of American machine guns enabled tactical employment that Japanese defensive doctrine couldn't counter. M1919 teams could establish firing positions, deliver devastating suppression, then relocate before counterfire could be organized. Mobility that 122-pound Japanese weapons couldn't achieve without extensive crew coordination. The production quality supporting American machine gun operations demonstrated manufacturing capability that achieved battlefield effectiveness through different principles than Japanese craftsmanship. Simplified design, robust tolerances, and systematic testing produced weapons that exceeded operational requirements without precision fitting that field conditions made irrelevant. John Browning's original design philosophy had emphasized mechanical reliability over manufacturing elegance, creating automatic weapons that functioned effectively regardless of operator skill level or maintenance quality. This approach produced machine guns that ordinary soldiers could employ effectively without specialized training that Japanese weapons required. Captain Robert Lee, weapons officer for the 8th Marine Regiment, analyzed the philosophical differences in design approach. Japanese machine guns are engineered like precision instruments that require expert operators. Our M1919s are engineered like farm equipment that any Marine can operate effectively. Complexity becomes liability under combat pressure. The sustained fire capabilities achieved through water-cooled M1917 variants enabled American forces to maintain continuous suppression of Japanese positions for hours without weapon degradation. The cooling systems eliminated barrel heating limitations that forced Japanese gunners to accept tactical pauses during critical engagements. The belt-fed ammunition system that equipped American machine guns provided tactical advantages that Japanese strip-fed weapons couldn't match during sustained combat. 250-round belts enabled continuous fire for extended periods, while 30-round strips required frequent reloading that created vulnerability windows during defensive operations. The industrial logistics supporting M1919 operations included specialized ammunition production that achieved quality standards adequate for automatic weapons while maintaining volume output impossible through precision manufacturing. American cartridge plants produced ammunition that functioned reliably without precision tolerances that Japanese production required. Staff Sergeant Anthony Basilone, commanding an M1919 section during the assault on Betio Island, demonstrated tactical applications that validated American firepower philosophy. You don't aim machine guns like rifles, you use them to control areas, keep the steel flying, and the enemy can't function. Our M1919s let us do that all day. The crew training supporting American machine gun operations emphasized practical application over theoretical perfection, producing gunners capable of maximum effectiveness through simplified procedures that battlefield conditions favored over complex techniques requiring optimal circumstances. The maintenance procedures developed for M1919 operations could be performed under combat conditions using basic tools and field-expedient methods. Weapon design that eliminated precision adjustments enabled continued operation, despite maintenance standards that would disable more sophisticated automatic weapons. The psychological impact on Japanese defenders was documented through captured diaries and interrogation reports that revealed systematic demoralization caused by sustained automatic fire that never ceased due to ammunition limitations or weapon failures that characterized Japanese defensive experience. Private Yoshio Yamada, captured Japanese machine gunner, described the psychological pressure in interrogation transcripts. American machine guns fire continuously without stopping. Our weapons require careful use to prevent overheating and jamming. Their volume fire creates psychological pressure that makes defensive positions untenable regardless of fortification quality. The tactical innovations emerging from M1919 employment included suppressive fire techniques that enabled infantry advancement under cover of sustained automatic fire. American squads could advance while machine gun teams maintained continuous suppression that Japanese precision fire couldn't match through calculated bursts. The strategic implications extended beyond individual engagements to encompass systematic transformation of Pacific warfare through American ability to concentrate overwhelming automatic firepower at decisive points. Japanese defensive doctrine based on precision engagement became obsolete when facing industrial-scale suppression. By late 1943, the industrial avalanche was unstoppable and systematic. American production capacity had armed every Marine unit with machine gun density that exceeded Japanese regimental capabilities, while maintaining ammunition supplies that enabled unlimited employment without conservation requirements. The crude American steel had evolved into systematic demonstration of industrial warfare principles that rendered individual weapon excellence irrelevant through overwhelming application of adequate technology produced in quantities that precision engineering could never match under wartime constraints. August 15, 1945. Kokura Arsenal, Japan. Master Sergeant Ichiro Tanaka stood among the silent production lines where Japan's finest craftsmen had once assembled Type 92 machine guns with precision that American mass production could never match. Around him lay the remnants of Japanese manufacturing excellence, hand-fitted components, precision-machined parts and half-completed weapons that would never fire in anger. The roar of American B-29s overhead carried a different message, the sound of overwhelming industrial capacity that had buried Japanese craftsmanship under an avalanche of crude but effective firepower. "We built the perfect machine gun," Tanaka whispered to his assistant, examining a pristine Type 92 that would never see combat. But they built 390,000 adequate ones, perfection lost to production, precision defeated by volume. The final statistics told a story of systematic industrial domination that mathematics made inevitable. American factories had produced 390,000 M1919 machine guns during the war, while Japan manufactured 45,000 Type 92s, an 8.7:1 production ratio that rendered individual weapon superiority meaningless when battlefield effectiveness depended on sustained firepower rather than engineering excellence. The human cost of this industrial disparity was documented with mathematical precision through casualty analysis that revealed the devastating effectiveness of American machine gun tactics. On Iwo Jima alone, M1919 and M1917 machine guns had fired 38 million rounds during 36 days of fighting, delivering more suppressive fire than Japanese forces had expended during the entire Solomon Islands campaign. Lieutenant General Tadamichi Kuribayashi, commanding Iwo Jima's defense, had recognized American firepower superiority in his final reports to Tokyo. Enemy automatic weapons achieve sustained fire rates that make defensive positions untenable. Their industrial capacity enables ammunition expenditure without conservation requirements. Individual weapon precision becomes irrelevant under volume suppression that exceeds our counterfire capabilities. The technical comparison revealed fundamental differences in design, philosophy that battlefield results had validated decisively. The Type 92's sophisticated engineering achieved 2,000-meter accuracy through precision manufacturing that required 180 hours of skilled craftsmanship per weapon. The M1919's simplified design achieved 1/5 100-meter effectiveness through robust engineering that enabled mass production at rates exceeding 2,400 units monthly. But the decisive factor wasn't technical superiority, it was reliability under combat, conditions that separated theoretical perfection from battlefield effectiveness. The Type 92's complex feed mechanism achieved precision ammunition control but jammed under sustained firing that combat operations required. The M1919's belt-fed system enabled continuous fire that tactical situations demanded regardless of engineering elegance. Master Sergeant John Basilone, Medal of Honor recipient, who had proven M1919 effectiveness at Guadalcanal, articulated the philosophical difference before his death at Iwo Jima. The Japanese built machine guns like watches, beautiful engineering, precise operation, but they stop working when you need them most. We built machine guns like tractors, ugly, simple, but they run all day under any conditions. The manufacturing philosophy that had produced Japanese machine gun excellence became a strategic liability when global warfare required weapons in quantities that precision craftsmanship couldn't achieve. Each Type 92 represented individual perfection that delayed production, while American assembly lines produced adequate weapons faster than Japanese factories could manufacture ammunition. The industrial mobilization supporting American machine gun production had demonstrated capabilities that peacetime economics couldn't reveal. General Motors converted automobile production lines to weapons manufacturing, achieving output rates that exceeded specialized armaments. Factories through application of mass production techniques to military requirements. The ammunition production supporting M1919 operations had reached scales that defied Japanese comprehension. American plants produced 2 billion rounds of .30-06 ammunition during 1944 alone, more automatic weapons ammunition than Japan manufactured during the entire war for all calibers combined. This abundance enabled tactical employment that made ammunition conservation irrelevant. Dr. Kijiro Nambu, designer of Japanese automatic weapons, provided the definitive technical assessment during post-war interrogations. American machine guns achieved battlefield superiority through simplified design that enabled mass production impossible with precision engineering. Their crude manufacturing methods produced weapons adequate for sustained combat, while our sophisticated techniques created perfection that production constraints made strategically irrelevant. The tactical innovations emerging from M1919 employment had revolutionized infantry warfare through sustained suppressive fire that rendered traditional defensive tactics obsolete. American forces could maintain continuous automatic fire that made movement impossible for defenders accustomed to precision engagement, requiring ammunition conservation. The crew training supporting American machine gun operations had demonstrated that adequate weapons in trained hands exceeded perfect weapons operated by specialists when battlefield conditions favored reliability over precision. Marine machine gunners achieved tactical effectiveness through simplified procedures that complex Japanese techniques couldn't match under pressure. The maintenance simplicity that characterized M1919 design enabled continued operation under field conditions that disabled more sophisticated weapons. Basic tools and field expedient procedures maintained American machine guns, while Japanese weapons required specialized maintenance that combat environments rarely provided. The psychological impact extended beyond tactical defeats to encompass systematic transformation of Japanese understanding about industrial warfare and the relationship between manufacturing philosophy and battlefield effectiveness. Precision engineering had lost to adequate design produced in overwhelming quantities. Colonel Takeo Yamazaki, former instructor at the infantry school, reflected on the systematic defeat during post-war interviews. "We taught precision fire and mechanical perfection, while Americans learned volume suppression and industrial production. Their crude weapons achieved battlefield dominance through principles we considered inferior, but which proved decisive under sustained combat." The strategic implications had proven more devastating than tactical defeats. American industrial capacity had demonstrated systematic superiority over Japanese manufacturing methods across every category of military equipment, revealing fundamental advantages of mass production over craftsmanship when global warfare required weapons in quantities that individual excellence couldn't achieve. The post-war analysis revealed complete scope of industrial transformation that American machine gun production represented. The same factories that produced M1919s had manufactured automobiles, appliances, and consumer goods, demonstrating productive flexibility that specialized military industries couldn't match under wartime conversion requirements. General Douglas MacArthur, accepting Japanese surrender aboard USS Missouri, carried an M1919 machine gun as symbolic choice that reflected systematic American victory through industrial capacity rather than individual weapon superiority. Japanese forces possessed superior individual equipment operated by highly trained personnel. American forces possessed adequate equipment, produced in quantities that rendered individual superiority irrelevant through overwhelming application of industrial capacity. The Cold War implications became apparent as American machine gun production continued at wartime rates, demonstrating industrial mobilization capability that potential enemies couldn't match through any combination of precision engineering and specialized manufacturing. The M1919 had become symbol of American industrial democracy's ability to produce victory through systematic application of adequate technology. The final irony emerged through post-war Japanese industrial recovery that adopted American mass production techniques for civilian manufacturing. The same engineers who had perfected Type 92 precision manufacturing learned assembly line methods that enabled economic prosperity through volume production rather than individual craftsmanship. At the 1985 reunion of Pacific War machine gunners in Hawaii, former enemies shared technical appreciation for weapons that had defined their combat experience. Tanaka, now 89 and a successful automotive engineer, addressed 400 American veterans with professional respect that transcended wartime hostility. You taught us that perfection can be the enemy of adequate when production volume determines victory. Your crude machine guns achieved battlefield dominance through principles we considered inferior but which proved decisive. Industrial democracy defeated precision craftsmanship through systematic application of manufacturing capability that individual excellence could not overcome. The auditorium erupted in sustained applause as Americans and Japanese stood together, former enemies united by recognition that industrial capacity had accomplished what individual courage could never achieve: systematic victory through overwhelming production of adequate weapons that functioned when needed regardless of engineering elegance. The M1919 Browning machine gun had indeed become more than automatic weapon. It was proof that democratic industrial systems could produce victory through systematic application of adequate technology manufactured in quantities that specialized precision could never match. The roar of sustained automatic fire had become the sound of American industrial democracy triumphing over traditional craftsmanship through principles that transformed warfare itself. In the end, the war wasn't won by perfect weapons. It was won by adequate weapons produced in overwhelming numbers by industrial systems that could arm entire armies with firepower that never failed when victory depended on sustained suppression rather than precision engagement. The crude American steel had roared louder than Japanese precision, and in that roar lay the sound of empire's end.